she's gone. And there's that
Well.
mirror again.
Encore une fois, this is the end for you, but not the end for me.
I would have kept them in the dark if I were you. What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. Can't even trust ourselves.
Approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. You are nothing at all. C'est ça. Là, on est rendu à la fin. Fait que là, je vais voir la fin où est-ce que tout le monde taillit. Parce qu'on a vu, c'est la variation de genre le New Dawn qu'ils appellent, là, quand on détruit la princesse, on détruit le Shifting Mound, puis on crée le nouvel univers. On recrée l'univers essentiellement, mais là, toutes nos voix dans la tête nous haïssent. Ça devrait être ça. Are you me? Destroy the mirror. Proceed to the cabin one last time. Puis là, fait qu'une fois qu'on a fini ça, on a vu toutes les fins.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Ever the passive player, when the echoes spun us from one into two. He gave you a choice, and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitude.
C'est ça, elle, c'est le changement, c'est même pire que la mort.
Will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or...
You can't just come down to me destroy you, then yeah, I won't do it. C'est ça, c'est celle que moi j'ai pris. Puis là, on slay de toute façon.
Violence has always been our language, hasn't it? If this is what it takes to save you, then so be it.
J'ai jamais fait ça. Address this vessel statement directly. I helped you out of fear. I helped you out of fear and I'm not afraid of you anymore. That is why I resist you now. I was glad to set you free.
Then set me free again. Set both of us free. You are nothing. A black hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts. A dog blind to its leash. But there is no light without the dark. When I proclaimed my godhood and offered you a place at my side, you gladly became the instrument of my new creation. Only with both of us is there a future to look towards. It is hope that carves meaning into being.
Address this vessel statement directly. You were consumed by your own ego. I miss when that was you. Ça c'est le dummy mommy genre. Submitting to you was a mistake.
You knew what I was then. To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. By believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. Bound for eternity, you saw the need for impermanence, and it was through that need that you carved our freedom. Without impermanence, the suffering of living things is infinite. Would you strip my gifts away and leave everyone to suffer in the dark?
Ça fait pas tant de sens parce que l'impermanence, c'est justement ça le changement. Address this vehicle. That would be torture. To get over it, they'll see your end as a gift in time.
Or, in time, would they see it as a curse? A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that rooted in my skin. Your compassion is what freed us both, but compassion is a thing that must be nurtured, and you cannot nurture that which cannot change.
Elle a quand même raison. Je veux dire, moi, je suis quand même sur le... De base, si on compte pas la version où est-ce qu'on peut juste dire comme fuck off, on devient genre des êtres mortels, immortels, peu importe, on devient des êtres genre des non-gods, puis on va juste vivre notre vie, notre version à nous autres, là, dans le fond. Si t'es pour choisir comme save or destroy, moi je la garderais. Parce que le changement, je suis d'accord de dire le changement c'est fondamental, puis c'est ce qui fait l'univers. Of course I helped you, I didn't want us to hate each other.
Then help me again. We are each other's liberation. Your lover tried to stake into your body, and another, and another,
Ah, ça, on
and
l'a vu, c'est la même que la
melted into
princesse.
skepticism.
J'adore
And you
cette
pulled back
princesse.
layer after layer after layer.
Je suis en train de me dire, c'est
All
peut-être
you were
elle
left
qui va
with was
devenir
the
le...
knowledge that you did not know me.
Pulled back layer after layer after layer until all you left was... Ah, c'est ça. Tu vois, ça, c'est différent. Love melted into skepticism. And you pulled back layer after layer after layer. Fait que c'est ça, c'est le deconstructed. On l'a comme
You
tout
sought
défait.
the truth then. Will you hide from it, now that it is within your grasp?
Explore the... I have no desire to hide, but the truth can be made better. Destroying you is what it takes, so be it.
I am so deeply woven into the threads of this reality that I cannot imagine it without me. Perhaps there is a better way to go. But you cannot know until you see it. Are you so sure in your blind optimism that you would shatter all of creation?
As the clash between abates, you begin to shake your will, rapidly dissolving.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. You cannot remove something without removing the relations which define it. To destroy what
c'est
you
ça. Fait que ça,
perceive,
c'est la
open
même
your
affaire.
eyes and accept what we...
Fait que ça, c'est comme la même affaire, essentiellement. Puis le fight final, c'est pas vraiment un fight, c'est juste pour comme te remind, c'est plus comme un refresh sur qu'est-ce que t'as fait. I can't let everything die. I have to fight for a better world. I'm so sorry.
Even now you think you can destroy me. If it takes all of eternity to break your delusion, I will still break it.
You don't have to face her alone.
Which hero are you?
I'm all of them, I assume in the same way that you're all of you.
Where's everyone else? How are you supposed to help?
You need a better place to strike from if you're going to land a decisive blow. I can help you with that. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there.
It's time to resume.
She's relentless, isn't she?
Je sais pas si I can do this out here on my own, je sais pas qu'est-ce que ça donne. Mais je sais que
Then let's go.
il faut que je la tue en ayant par là. Et que les affaires deviennent plus...
Don't think any of the others have forgotten what you said at the mirror. They all talked, and they're not happy. But we can discuss that later. We have a job to do. Do you need me to...
Fait que tu vois, là, on est rendu dans... Take the blade.
That's probably for the best.
Into the basement. Là, tu vois, on a la ligne, ce qui veut dire qu'on va avoir, on va avoir la...
It's almost over, isn't it?
She sounded just...
Continue
And
down.
down
C'est
we
laquelle la
go.
première?
We shouldn't keep her waiting.
You're really going to do it then, aren't you? You're really going to kill me. You don't have to. You know that, right? But if that's what you want, we might as well talk a bit first. I wouldn't mind a few extra minutes.
Slay the princess.
So this is really it then?
So this is what it feels like to actually die. I think this is for the best. I don't know what the world will be like without me. But it can't be that bad if it still has you in it. I've always loved you. Don't forget me.
C'est triste. Mais... Small melancholic weight that sits at the borders of your heart. Destroying her once and for all, you also destroyed a part of yourself parce qu'on avait une partie de nous autres dans le... But the world hasn't ended, things continue
She's
on.
gone.
Small part of her... Ah, let's leave the cabin. Then the stairs.
It's quiet here.
The canvas, there is a mercy beyond this place, the fruits of your labor, a world free from death. Set yourself free. Puis là, c'est là qu'on va voir. La seule différence qu'il va y avoir, c'est que c'est qu'est-ce que les voix vont nous dire. Bon, ça, on l'a déjà vu, là.
He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
Bear witness to the new kingdom. Yay! Then the shattering, you are free before you lies in this expanse, blah 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 blah. No more bloodshed in this
We
new
didn't
world.
forget what you told us.
Ah, there we go.
We're the house now. We get to make the rules. And I'm not sure you'll like those new rules. You should never make assumptions about things you don't know. Like whether or not the voices in your head will be gone for good. Slaying our beloved and threatening us with damnation. There's no good ending for you. I'm sorry. They all know what you did. Voices get around. Knives out, boys. It's time to get to work.
Fait que ça, c'est le genre, pas le bad ending, mais c'est le ending où est-ce qu'on devient un dieu, puis qu'on crée un nouvel univers, puis qu'on passe l'éternité tout seul avec les voix dans notre tête qui nous haïssent. Yay! Là, maintenant que j'ai vu toutes les endings dans le fond, on les a toutes vues les endings. Là. Fait que là, on va reprendre ça. Puis là, j'ai ma petite liste ici. C'est quoi les affaires? Une affaire que je voulais faire, c'est le tower. On va recommencer avec le damsel. On va faire un new game. Puis là, à chaque fois que j'en en faire une, je vais faire un new game.
You're here.
Parce que là, je veux pas me bloquer de path ou de rien. Le sanity continue.
You must she will not ignore
Proceed into the
the
cabin.
blade is your
Nope.
her voice is don't
Ok,
Good.
on va...
You walk
Premier,
I
on
am.
l'a déjà fait plusieurs fois, là. Let's see what I can do.
only you may no. You walk they're large and
I'm guessing you don't.
maybe
Ok, bla bla bla, on l'a déjà vu. Can you check upstairs?
Okay.
Bla 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 bla. Return, bla 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 bla
Easier.
bla
I
bla
heard the
bla.
door.
there's a slight
If I could just.
she barely has she rips the blade for you won't
Save the princess.
and you cut the blade at her she'd know.
Thank you.
Approach the locked
No.
door.
As the prince wait, watch me.
Fait que là, on a besoin du damsel. Fait qu'on fait ward.
Stop.
So
Your body lunges forward. But the prince stop it.
Puis là, on fait resist.
The blade move as
we.
she
I'm.
pl-
Oh,
what
I'm.
she doesn't know it. Apparently not.
I'm so sorry.
It can't just end. Oh, everything goes dark.
je l'ai, mais elle est toute cute.
You're here.
Proceed to the cabin. Puis
Oh,
là, on
she
va
will-
là-dessus.
If only... Forget, but he last... I think he just... I do. Sure, don't pay that.
Proceed.
The intent...
Puis là, on fait take the blade.
I suppose... Hopefully, there's no use arguing
Under the basement.
the door to the base, but it's a soft...
Hello?
Her voice. Okay, we don't even... Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. You walk down the stairs. My love! You know she may... Oh, you're
Là,
spirit.
là, ça, on l'a tout déjà vu. Là. On l'a tout
She
déjà
called
vu. C'est pour ça que je
flattery.
passe très
That's
vite à
right.
travers.
Well, only because he... And you've done... We... Nothing horrible
Okay,
now.
blah,
We
blah.
never... Are you listening?
Jesus, ok, bon. Là, j'ai Slay the Princess. Je pense que c'est ça. Parce que dans le fond, c'est une des affaires qu'on n'a pas faites. On peut Rescue the Princess, mais ça devient facile. Là. Non, Slay the Princess.
Blade in hand. You... Wait. No. You Bob... But you ignore the pleas of the foolish little voice and press on. The princess's eyes grow wide with terror as you approach, but she does absolutely nothing to stop you. Your blade pierces her heart, and she collapses pathetically to the ground.
I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong?
No, my love, you did nothing wrong. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Not you.
I'm
Oh.
going to die now. I think that's what you want.
And just like that, she's dead. And the world is saved. Thank you for seeing this through. I know it must have been difficult.
I feel sick.
Sick? You took part in the murder of the fairest creature that's ever lived. And you merely feel sick. I, for one, am absolutely distraught. Grief-stricken. Inconsolable. You'll get over it. You just saved everyone. Get over it. You smarmy ass.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
nothing in the world worth getting over it for. We might as well just end it all.
Wait,
Raise
what?
the blade, aiming the point directly towards your heart. Excuse me? No, you absolutely do not do that. Yeah, let's not make any rash decisions. We should give ourselves a minute, take a deep breath, and...
What? Go smitten!
The only rash decision we've made was running our cursed blade through her heart. This is far from rash. This is measured. This is the only thing left for us to do now
Fait que le
that
smitten, il a
she's
juste
gone.
pris le contrôle carrément. I say no.
Exactly. You're not doing this. All of you may have previously thought that my passions were too great to stifle, but those were merely passions of joy. My passions of sorrow run deeper than the ocean itself, and you'll find that they are far more unstiflable. Haven't you? Haven't you all? I don't believe this. What? What don't you believe? You plunge the blade into your own heart and collapse to the floor. You can't be serious. Why are you helping him? I'm not. He just made it happen. I'm sorry. That's right. You're all sorry. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Ah, there we go. The grey.
You're on a path in the wood.
You horrid monster. Do you think just because we've returned to the woods you've earned my forgiveness? Our beloved had best be alive and well when we return to the cabin, or you'll never know the end of my wrath.
She won't be alive and well when we return to that cabin, because she's dead. We killed her.
You killed her, and so I killed you.
And you clearly didn't do a good enough job. I'm still here.
Oh, and I'm still here too. If you lot get to be blessed with seemingly eternal life, that must mean she's still there, waiting for
Non,
us to
avec un
throw
autre chapitre
ourselves at
comme
her
The
feet
Grey,
in
je pense pas
remorse.
qu'elle est vraiment là encore.
I doubt it. I think I'm better at killing than you are. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2? It's our third. What gave it away? Your open discussions.
I couldn't care less what he knows.
Every second we stand around arguing in the woods is a second that I'm anxiously worrying about her. Take us to the cabin and take us there now. With each passing moment, our relationship may be damaged even further, though I fear the rift between us may already be permanent. And if it is permanent, then what? You'll kill us again? Oh, you just wait and see. My vengeance will echo the depths of my bereavement. Don't provoke him. I prefer if we didn't die again. I'm not fond of dying. Why not? You've already done it twice. It was unpleasant. It was only unpleasant because you think it's supposed to be unpleasant. I'll make you feel what I feel if it's the last thing I do. And mark my words, you won't like it when it happens. Oh, how exciting. I'd love to see you try. Can I? Well, I'm not just going to try. I'm going to actually do it. I'm looking forward to it. Good. I am too. Can I talk now? Yes, I can. Great. Now that you're listening, let me remind you that if you're here in the woods, it means that the princess is not dead, and that her very existence currently poses a direct threat to the entire world.
Bon, okay. Seems like all answers are in the cabin. Might as well see this through. Let's go.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. Oh, we'll muck it up all right. We'll get our happy ending, even if it damns each and every person who's ever lived. Whatever you do, don't let him influence a single decision. He's clearly lost it. I hate that I'm agreeing with him on anything, but I really don't like being at the whims of someone so unstable. It's stressful. Yes, having all those feelings isn't very productive, is it? But we're just passengers here. Why stress over something you can't control?
Alright.
You're saying
Là, le
that like
Smitten,
stress
il a
is
juste
just
carrément
something you
pris
can
la...
turn off. It is. It's easy. Whatever happens, happens. Are you even alive? What's the point of doing anything if you're not going to feel a single emotion? I don't know. I just exist. And that's fine with me. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await.
Proceed.
The interior of the cabin feels dry and brittle. Ancient
Hey,
dust-covered wooden beams hold up a crumbling ceiling like mummified ribs, each elegantly carved detail of the stately building preserved in an extended stasis. Everything here has been kept safe and dry and lifeless. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the dusty wood of the far wall. Is that her? Our beloved. So she does live.
Clairement pas, là.
She doesn't look very alive to me. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it. Perhaps it's gone because an oh-so-deserved guilt has started to worm its way into each and every one of you. Perhaps all of you do feel just as bad as I about what we've done. Though if you felt the oppressive guilt I feel, we would have manifested that weapon directly into our heart. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you... You make your way to the door at the end of the room. stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that. It's so hazy.
It's time for all of you to see what we've become.
You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things.
I see. We are too hideous for even a mirror to behold. We can only hope she might still see some good in us.
No way left to go but down.
Into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks
Hello.
open, revealing an antique staircase lit by weak torchlight. The air here is so stale it practically stands still, as if the very molecules of this place have been fossilized, trapped for eons until your arrival. Even the blaze of the torches can't penetrate the odorless air, as if they'd run out of fuel to burn ages ago, their light still flickering more out of habit than from adhering to a physical reality. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadow. There she is again.
My love!
She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
Are we good? Is anyone there? I think we have a lot to talk about. Proceed down the stairs. Elle a encore le
As you
weapon.
descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead.
No! What foul trickery is this? How can this be? We just saw her alive and well a moment ago, floating away transparently.
Whatever we saw was a ghost. I thought we were all on the same page. Do try to keep up. Your thoughts are interrupted by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs, clutching a brightly burning torch. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even. Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying, or destroying, if we want to be a little more death-neutral, seems off the table.
We make amends. She obviously still holds us in her heart. She's bearing a torch for us and everything.
But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
You came back. I missed you.
That angelic voice, I missed you too, my beloved.
You sure snapped back to your old self quick.
Yes, seeing her dazzling countenance again has reignited the warmth in my heart. I have found it in me to forgive the sins this body has committed. We can have our perfect romance after all.
She's dead.
This is a bad place. We're supposed to be together, but it keeps making us hurt each other.
Encore du foreshadowing. C'est encore du foreshadowing.
The torch falls from the princess's hand and bounces down the stairs.
It'll be so much better when it's gone.
The skeletal wood of the basement, perfectly dry after uncountable years of desiccation, immediately catches fire.
She's trying to kill us. A misplaced escalation of her passions, but clearly she still cares for us. I say we burn with her.
On n'a pas le choix. Going to burn. Why did you close the door?
Because I wanted to be with you. I don't want you to leave.
See? Everything's fine.
Yeah, in a bad way.
She just has a
Unique way of expressing things.
Yeah,
The
unique.
fire grows quickly, devouring the basement, dancing up the walls and painting every surface with strokes of flame. You're choked by smoke, and the air around you grows uncomfortably warm. We've never burned to death before. I wonder how it's going to feel. Bad! I bet it'll feel really, really bad. Yes, it will be terrible, so you'd better come up with something to do and fast. Your personal safety is far from the only thing she's threatening right now. I think a bit of fiery passion is good for the world. You're just trying to spoil her fun. I'm not spoiling anything. I'm trying to prevent oblivion.
They're trying to kill me. I'm going to burn. Please let me you. I'll do anything. Just don't let me burn. Are you mad at me for killing you? I'm so sorry. Rush for the blade or rush for the door? Rush for the blade.
As you rush up the stairs towards the princess, the entire cabin, you push through the flames, trying to ignore the choking hot air filling your lungs. You manage to reach her. Your hand wrapping around the hilt of the metal is already blistering hot. Your hand sizzles as it melts on contact. You can't so much as pull away, your nerves seizing up as they're fried, the bones of your hand fusing in place around the weapon. The princess, smiling warmly as her skin bubbles away, places her hand on yours and clutches it to her chest.
Damn, that's crazy.
The pain is unbearable at first. Every inch of you screams as your flesh is stripped away, your muscles stiffening as they're cooked, your blood boiling in your veins. But it isn't long before the flames take your nerves, and with them, your ability to feel much of anything. See? That wasn't so bad. It was so bad. But somehow, the nothing is so much worse. You'll get used to it. There are still the feelings of the heart. Those never go away. Oh, they always do in the end. You just haven't experienced enough. Eventually you'll want them to stop too. You'll make them stop. Trust me. The princess's smile never fades. Her skin peels away, and then her muscle, until all you can see is her charring skull,
There we go.
locked in an eternal grin. It's very romantic, really. We got our happy ending after all. We can die happy.
There we go. Despite your best efforts, you do not die, and she is gone. Something that has taken her away has left something else in her place.
And there's that.
Là, je
I'm
pense que
begging
je
you.
vais juste voir qu'est-ce qu'elle... Ah, on est le premier, fait qu'elle le dira pas. Ignore him.
This. Yes. Ignore the cow.
Bla bla bla. Je sais pas si ça va me dire... approach her.
Something finds me in the long...
Gives up a fragile vessel.
Yes. Nerves and fiber. This one is
Ah,
passion
there we go.
betrayed. But even in the end, her love never faded. She will make for a bright heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
There we go.
Nothing there is. Bring me. You
Ah,
asked.
je vais pas let it be. Ok, make me forget.
She asked. You won't.
Bon. Là, je vais reset.
You're on a path
Je vais
in
reset,
the woods.
puis on va aller faire la
And
même
at the
affaire.
end
Mais
of that path,
Ok.
you're here.
Attends 2 secondes. J'ai reparti la game parce que là, j'ai plus besoin de voir les endings. Je vais juste voir les autres princesses qui restent. J'ai reparti la game. On vient de voir le Burned, le Grey. Puis là, je veux voir la même affaire, mais de l'autre côté. Fait que j'ai commencé En prenant le blade, j'ai été voir la fille, j'ai drop le blade, j'ai parlé, je l'ai laissé partir, elle m'a tué, blablabla. On arrive ici. Là, c'est là que je veux la tuer. Je
You
prends
take
le
good
blade.
idea.
Tu as des policemen.
The door to her voice.
Is that a...
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. You walk down the stairs. Should we be worried? Why have you noticed the
What an interest...
Ok. Slay.
Without a moment of hesitation, you charge the princess.
I am not a damsel to be helplessly murdered.
As you move to strike the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she
Oh,
wraps them
she's
around her
invisible.
fists. In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing.
Drop it, or you die.
I thought this was going to be a safe move, but she's going to kill us. Just look. How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you
Slay.
steel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike. You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you.
Oh, come on.
But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart. The chains loosen. The darkness creeping in at the edges of your vision subsides.
None of this was ever very fair, was it? But I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge. Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again, even if it damns us both.
And just like that, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
I don't like this. It was too easy.
It was not too easy. We almost died. That's right. This was an incredibly difficult task, and you performed it admirably. Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd appreciate a reward right about now.
You have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises?
It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone. And especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here.
Fine. But if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it.
With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here.
Hey, on
The
pourrait aller dans le
windows.
good...
Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door.
Fait que là, on pourrait aller dans le good...
ready to return
good
to a
ending.
world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at
So
You
on a
don't have to
déjà
act
vu, là.
surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows.
But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward? This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it. Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Like hell it is.
Avec les sceptiques cette fois-ci. Let us out of here. I'm pretty okay with this. That's bullshit. Let us out of
What's
here.
done is done. And there's no going back now. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months.
Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
I'm happy. What would you suggest then? I don't know. I'm pretty happy. No, slay yourself.
You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
Immortality of nothing. C'est
Why
genre,
should it
tant qu'à ça,
matter if we
t'existes pas.
die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
I don't have to answer that.
That's all we needed to hear.
You raise the blade, then drive it into your heart.
You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right? Yeah, we'll see about that.
The Grey.
You're on a path in the woods.
Oh,
See?
c'est différent.
That wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place. There are so many more threads to pull once you stop feeling. That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay?
The cold.
I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine. He's not wrong. Sentimentality won't help us here. We need scientific rigor. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2? It's our 3rd. What gave it away? Your open discussions. You came around on that awful fast. Have you just been pretending to forget every time? I'm afraid not. Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish I'd been the first. So you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used it to our advantage. That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed. It's not like it was that difficult to slay her last time. She may have put up a fight, but her flesh is still softer than our blade. And now she's dead, and I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave. You already slew her, and you survived? Yes. Then why, pray tell, are you here? Oh, I know that one. We killed ourselves. Why? Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward. Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy. We weren't. We were bored. You were bored. I was just unhappy. There were still answers that we needed to find. It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything.
Ouais, parce que lui, tout hinge sur le... Faut qu'on tue la princesse, mais faut pas qu'on reset. Parce que si on change d'univers, tout reset, donc la princesse revient en vie.
How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us? The
Encore?
world doesn't stay saved if you die.
Beaucoup de foreshadowing. Je suis pris dans mon fil.
And if the world isn't saved, then that means she isn't dead. Oh, now isn't that interesting? I assumed she'd just be a pile of old bones. But perhaps she's not. There's only one way to find out. We should go see her.
The whole path is different.
Yes, things are different, aren't they? If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is all her influence.
Ah ouais, ok, ça on l'a
It
déjà
means
entendu.
exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you... And what is that? Forget I said anything. I've probably already made things worse, and I need to stop talking about... Come on, tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough? Don't we deserve to know? No. Is there a reason it would be raining? If there is, it doesn't matter. If a...
Ah, c'est ça. Proceed to the cabin.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of what we do. And we have all those mysteries to unravel. Isn't that right? You aren't here to solve a mystery. You're here to save the world. That's what you say. We can't be sure of anything except what's right in front of us. Okay, but
Ouais, c'est des affaires qu'on a
we
un peu
should
entendues.
care about the fate of the world. Why? Because we should. I don't know. It's important. Is it? Yes. I think. For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real. Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else? Maybe we
A
are.
construct.
This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await.
Proceed.
As soon as you enter the cabin,
That's
you're
very
struck
low.
by an overwhelming scent of decay, of mold and death and stagnant water. The once stately wooden building is bloated, its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction, all but the exterior stone walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive.
Fait que c'est la même building, mais différent.
But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall. Is that her? It's like she isn't even there. See? We killed her. You're right. Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room? But there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it. But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset. Why wouldn't the blade have reset too? Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue. We've seen what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement?
Approach the mirror.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think it's so hazy.
Ah, c'est la même affaire. Wipe the mirror.
Reach. Yeah, we can see it now. So much for our reflection. No way left to go but down.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement groans open. The air is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated with slimy algae, the wood rotted through in places, reeking of fetid vegetation. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters. There she is again. Barely. She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
Là, il n'y a plus rien à faire. Whatever ce que je dis. Proceed down the stairs.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A bloated body floating face down in slowly rising waters. Her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead. She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do? She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is. Her corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind games. If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything? How can she be a threat to the world like this? Your thoughts are cut short by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock.
Whoops.
You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantic? Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't. But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
J'ai pas le choix. I only killed you after you killed me first, even now. Why did you close the door?
But she doesn't answer your question. All she does is watch you in shadowed silence. Do you hear that trickling sound? The water's rising, isn't it? It is, and it's rising fast. Oh, that's interesting. We've never drowned before. I wonder how it'll feel. Bad, I bet. I don't think dying ever feels good. Yes, how astute. Dying is bad and you should avoid it. How about you stop trying to talk to her and do something instead?
On va voir le blade aussi. Rush for the blade.
The princess eyes you with a disaffected gaze as you rush up the stairs, but you don't make it past the first few steps.
What?
The door bursts open, a powerful wave of water crashing down towards you. You're swept up in the flood. Your head slams into the basement wall. You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness, disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out. It's so dark and cold. I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this? Just keep breathing. We'll figure this out. Or we won't. It doesn't matter either way. But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle. You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths. As you sink below the surface, you see it. Or rather, you see her. The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle, the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness. I get it. We shouldn't have killed her. Just get it away from us, please. The past is the past. There's no changing it. There's nothing to fix. And there's not a lot we can do about the present either. Not unless we think, like we should have been doing all along.
T'as pas rien à
But
faire,
there
là.
is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all
L'écriture
the
dans ce
while
jeu-là,
her
man.
ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
Your lungs filled with water, the same your mind filled with blood. In the end, we're not so different.
Right. But she and her bones are gone.
She's gone. And there's...
Bon. Approach the
I'm
mirror.
begging you,
This... You're right.
ignore the cat.
On l'a déjà vu, là. Juste voir qu'est-ce qu'elle va dire sur le Proceed to the Cabin.
Something finds me in the...
The Gift of a Fragile Vessel.
Yes. Nerves and This one is guarded sorrow. She saw herself as alone, but in the end had the courage to share with another. She will make for a deep heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally been heard.
Right, ok. Fait que ça, on a vu ça. On a vu le Grey. J'aimerais ça. Qu'est-ce que je peux faire après? On va reset. Oh, you're letting the nightmare out aussi, hein?
You're here.
On va let the nightmare out, parce que là, on l'a tué, mais... on
You
va
oh,
pas,
we're not going to ignore
proceed to the
the
cabin.
end of the blade is your
Into the basement.
stone. Good.
Down the
You
stairs.
walk down. I am beg.
Hi.
Let's talk a little bit first.
Okay.
Keep her locked away.
That seems
I don't think I could.
leaving her alone. So I'm the only one who.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way. But if you don't, I can.
You have.
Lock her in the basement.
It's a chance.
Where are you going?
You turn your
Fine.
slip either way. It'll be the
go.
death of all of us, but fine. You close. Oh, you design.
Fait que là, mon but, c'est d'avoir le nightmare.
Just
Go to
you
sleep,
put
on
the
s'en
you
fout,
where
c'est
is she?
pas grave.
You're
So
Là,
helpless.
tu vois, on l'a laissé là. Fait que là, c'est
I
deux
can
bras, le
take my
pas
time with you. Can't,
she steps closer.
or maybe I should.
Your lung.
I'd say better.
It can't be. I'm sorry. Everything goes dark. Your honor. Your.
C'était de
She
cabine.
will.
Là, on va juste rentrer puis la laisser aller.
The interior is. She's I'm so deep.
Enter the
Oh,
basement.
we should have taken the knife. I don't think going down there more.
The.
I didn't.
Come back.
Step off to the void. No, continue down the stairs in silence.
You make your way. Are you? No, I'm. Please.
I wouldn't give it.
Do nothing.
There you go.
As the princess approach your arms. This is
It's almost.
there. What did you?
No.
Your lungs. What are you doing? I'm.
On l'a tout
then
vu.
exp-
Okay.
You sure you have?
Yes, I.
Oh,
Shoot. And that
Ok,
doesn't.
bla 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 bla, on a tout vu ça. Ok.
Heart.
Leave together, let's get out of here.
Nerves. Heart. Lungs. Liver. Nerves.
Let's get out of here.
What? No.
I knew you'd come around. Oh, this is going to be so wonderful.
No, I'm not going to let this happen. Before you can utter another word, your body stops. Do you think you can just wrest control away from us? This body's barely functioning as it is. Doesn't the world end if we fail to stop her? Well, shit. Lungs, liver. With a flick of the princess's wrist, the stairs slide back into place. I can't believe you're making me watch you, damn.
Come along now. You don't want to be stuck down.
The princess glides onto the stairs and beckons you to follow. If only, but we don't. We can still grab. You're not wrong, but maybe you should let me handle the suggestions for the time being. Heart, lungs.
Step onto the stairs and follow the princess.
You step onto the basement stairs, following the princess as she ascends. Is this, at least, that doesn't justify anything, a terrible...
Make sure you keep up. We wouldn't want you.
As if acting on instinct, you crane your neck and look behind you. There isn't. The princess reaches the top of the stairs. Her head twists back in your direction, watching you with dead eyes as the... Don't forget that your pristine blade is still on the other side. You can still make this right. You can still save everyone. You can still save yourself. There's no harm in us having a weapon. All it does is give us more options. Have you considered that maybe you could operate the autonomic nervous system for a bit? Everyone is trying to manipulate us, and I can only do so many things at once to keep us alive. Heart. Liver? Your body seizes violently as you regain consciousness. No, no, no! You're doing it all wrong. You're supposed to do it like this. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart. I guess I have to do everything around here, don't I? Heart, lungs.
There we go. Back with me where you belong. I thought you might have decided to break yourself just to spite me. It's better for you that you didn't. Now we can get back to business. For starters, we won't need this where we're going.
The princess plucks the blade from the floor and tosses it through the door behind you. It vanishes into the inky black of the basement, never to be seen again. Guess we're not stabbing her in the back.
Non, c'est ça.
I guess not. I'm going to fix myself a stiff drink. If I'm about to watch you hand the world to her on a silver platter, I'd rather not be sober.
And now you open the door.
There's nothing else for us to do.
Step into the world.
The doorknob twists in your hand, revealing the forested path beyond the cabin. You bastard. You've actually done it, liver. You've actually doomed everyone. Lungs, liver.
It's so beautiful. I can't wait to ruin it. But it's so cold, too. It's itching against my skin.
Je pense qu'on l'a jamais fini, celle-là.
Why is it so cold?
On s'est toujours rendu au troisième niveau.
She's gone. Is that?
I'm begging you.
Ignore him.
This? It's cold.
Proceed to the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Gift of a fragile vessel.
Yes, nerves and fiber. This one is filled with sadness. A doll, abandoned to the company of her darkest impulses. She desires only companionship, but the only thing she knows is how to hurt. She will make for a tender heart.
Ah, tu vois, c'est la même affaire que celle à 3 bras.
Do not mourn her. She has finally found her way home.
There we go. C'est ça. Donc, on a trouvé celle-là aussi. Je vais aller voir parce que là, je vais essayer de me battre contre le tower. Fait que je reviens dans 2 minutes face à face avec le tower.